Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Daily Walk with Lance. This is the Bible verse for September 24th, 2025. And last night I ordered a wide margin, what was it called? New American Standard Bible, I think. It's NASB, and I think it stands for New American Standard Bible. And I got it with the wide margins so that I can write my notes in it, so that I can give y'all a little bit more modern English. Because, like I said, I read all this when I was real little, so like the these, thous, theys, untos, thys, all of it, I understand. I may not like express it well, but in my head, like, it makes sense. Um, but anyways, we are we are in the book of John, chapter 12, verse 46, and this is Jesus speaking. So if you have a red letter Bible, this would be in red, or if you don't have a red letter Bible, it'll say like Jesus said and then a quote. And I think this is part of a larger quote, so that's why you don't see Jesus said in this exact verse, because I think it's part of a larger quote. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But he says, I am come a light into the world, that whosoever believeth on me should not abide in the darkness. And that is John chapter 12, verse 46. And like I said, this is Jesus speaking, so the I am is referring to Jesus, God the Father, the Holy Trinity. If you notice, every time someone asks what is God's name, he says, I am that I am. And I think that's why you see Jesus say, I am come a light. And what it shows is that Jesus knows we are in a dark world. Jesus knows that we will all fall into the darkness. That's why we all need salvation. That's why Christianity isn't about one race, one people, like, unless the people group is all humans. If you want to say the people group is all humans, then yes. But what he is saying is the way the world lives is pure darkness. So anything that is not of God is basically pure evil, the way I see it. And a lot of people don't want to admit that. Even I have a hard time admitting that about certain things. But that's why we need grace. That's why we need salvation. That's why we need Jesus. That's why we need to be in the Bible learning what things are evil and what things are good. Because there are some things that that when you first think about it, you're like, why is that evil? And then the Bible gives a full explanation. You're like, oh, okay, that's why. So that's why I say, don't look at me as a pastor or leader or anything. This is just my daily Bible verse, and I'm sharing my thoughts on camera with y'all. Always double check everything I say with the Bible. Double check everything I post with the Bible. Double check everything yourself. Don't rely on me, because I am human. I make mistakes, and while I think as I do this more regularly, I will make less mistakes. And I don't mean to make any mistake intentionally. I grew up around the Bible. I started in public school, then I went to a Christian school, then back to public school. So while I was at the Christian school, we literally had a Bible class. And it was literally a class where you just learned the history of the Bible, lineages. Like, it took the Bible as an historical book and lays it out in a historical, like a history book way. I forgot where I was going with that. Forgive me, y'all. My PTSD makes me lose thoughts sometimes. So, I don't talk about my PTSD a lot because I'm not a veteran. So I feel like veterans with PTSD, their stories, that that area should be for them. If they ever came to me and like was like, hey, you know what this is like, you know, I would feel more comfortable talking about it because I know their PTSD. Like I have severe PTSD because of how frequent my PTSD is, but I gotta assume that uh, soldiers is a lot worse. Like I don't know what that survival guilt like. I don't know what that would be like. I like I've outlived a couple of my friends already, so like it, I kind of get where they're coming from. Like I understand why it upsets them, um, but I don't know what it's like to have like been in the action. So that's why I pretty much don't talk about my PTSD. But if I ever like pause or I lose a thought, that's why. Um, it's from an extremely bad car wreck when I was 13. Um, Obviously I wasn't driving when I was 13. But me and my mom got T-boned by a woman who ran a red light doing about 100. So I got a lot of permanent issues. But that's why I am trying to get on camera, share my Bible stories with y'all, and maybe find a career in a more obscure way, but something that can handle my disabilities and not really. I mean, it affects me somewhat because, like I said, I lose a thought from time to time. But other than that, when it comes to like speaking, I have a lot of physical injuries that are permanent, that like fibromyalgia and some other things. And I'm not one of these people out here trying to play victim. Like I've been officially diagnosed. Like I'm all that stuff. But anyways, before I keep ranting, if this is your first time on one of my videos, please drop me a follow, like the video, share it with your friends. And I don't say that to be a grifter. I say that because the social media algorithms, that's how they've told us the algorithms work, through either a trial and error or through direct contact. And so if we have a message that we want to share, that's how it gets shared. So we share with y'all how that can happen and how y'all can help us do that. All right, y'all. I will catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.